Right guys, welcome to Table Talks. This is episode 2. Let's see if we'll wait for someone to come in.
Sounds good.
We might be waiting a while, who knows. Hello, Michael. You there? Anyway guys, for anybody who's going to listen to this when it's not live, we're just going to have a little look and see, and a chat, discussion of Leaving Neverland. Some videos that some people have put on YouTube, bits and pieces. Yeah, let's do this. We'll whack that on to start with. That was funny. Anyway, right, let's get some text.
Mr. Jackson, in the latter portion of 1993, there were some allegations leveled at you concerning improper conduct with some young boys. I assume you're familiar with the fact that those allegations were raised. Is that right?
Pretty sure he was.
In fact, there was ultimately
Hello.
at least 2 grand jury inquiries into that I am currently aware of, although counsel tells me there may have been a third. Were you aware that grand jury investigations were conducted into those allegations?
Yes. Here we go, bear with us a minute, folks.
Did you know at the time that the grand jury was investigating these matters that they were in fact investigating?
Hello, welcome to Table Talks. We're starting in a second. Enjoy the video.
Get your comments in, we want to know what you think about Michael Jackson. Is he the king of pop, or is he the king of kids? You tell us.
Do you know that to be the case as well?
Yes.
Are you familiar with a person named Jordy Chandler?
Go ahead, sir. We're not going to get into who he knows and doesn't know. If you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask it. But I believe it's beyond the scope of this covering the matters of the case.
Does that man
Knows a Jordy Chandler?
look like a paedophile? It does look a bit like Boy George there, doesn't it?
Do you allow me to ask him any questions about Jordy Chandler in any fashion?
His nose looks kind of funny there, doesn't it?
I can't ask him whether he knows him, I suppose that would
Reckon he knows
other
him?
ones, don't you think?
Yeah.
Do you reckon he knows his nose is funny?
And
Does
may
look a
I
bit
ask,
funny,
sir,
doesn't it?
what the basis of
I mean, that could be an open discussion another time, like what actually happened to his nose. Was it a nose job that went wrong? This guy's saying nose, he's interviewing him about 6 times already. Do you reckon it's a pun? It's like, listen mate, how many times can you get nose in? What do you reckon?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Jackson, given by Adrian McManus. There are issues that are certainly relevant to
Right.
my interest as to why you inquired as to those depositions that Adrian gave. And you're now telling me I can't even ask whether he knows the man or go into any such areas?
Yeah, let me
You
get
got a quote that comes to mind, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right, this video is shite. Alright, let's find something funny. I saw something funny before. I mean, the guy may well be innocent. I mean, but me thinking, I mean, all these people coming out now, they probably just want a bit of money, don't they? Because they've swore an oath that he never bummed them. So, who knows?
Well, that's one of the controversies, one of the guys, because he swore the oath already that he didn't do anything.
This guy reckons that Michael Jackson shot his load in him 450 times, which I can't see. 450 times. did he have a click counter? I mean, right, let's watch this. Michael Jackson slept in the preteen Rams. Let's see.
They've been waiting for 3 days to see their hero. And when the moment came, it was the type of bizarre appearance you'd expect from a man they call Wacko Jacko. Spotted on the roof of the Dorchester Hotel,
Wacko
where his
Jacko.
ex-wife
Forgot about that.
was staying, the pop star seemed to be playing hide and seek. Joined by his travelling companion and 9-year-old cousin, he began throwing items to his admirers below.
Travel companion and 9-year-old cousin.
When you'd have sleepovers and you'd stay in the same room, same bed, did that seem unusual to you at all?
No, because I slept on one side of the bed, slept on the other, and that was that.
That was that, eh? Right. Well, we'll see. Well, come on. Which side of the bed can they slept on? Yeah, can he kicked him out of bed for farting? I mean, we shouldn't really talk about this because it ain't really funny, is it? But, you know, it's Michael Jackson and Eminem can joke about him. We can too, right?
Well, there's a big difference.
Yeah, we're better than Eminem. Right. Here we go. Now I've got some tags on there. This is bullshit. There's a video that I watched, which was pretty good, the guy put together. Where is it? Oh, that's us. Should put it on for that. Ah, yeah, he did. He married a boy, didn't he? It's role played, he said. Right, here we go. This is interesting. This is his sister, isn't it?
Well,
Latoya.
that's a dysfunctional family, although on the surface it seemed like.
Her nose is a bit as well, isn't it?
So maybe it was
My
hereditary.
family, because that was always that facade up there, smiling in front of the cameras, but when we got home, it was totally
How
different.
thin it is.
It was an entirely different lifestyle at home.
Well, what was it like at home?
Like a cotton wool bud inside, isn't it?
Very hard. My father was very strict. He beat us.
Well, when you say he beat you, did he spank you, wink you? I mean, what
He
did
had a
he
belt, he said, belt, sweat, whatever. My brothers were grown, and my father would take his fist and he would punch him and knock him down the steps constantly.
Would they
To
provoke
this
him?
day, no, of course not. To this day, they are still afraid of my father, and they will tell you. They come to me as a Latoya. We have kids in college, and they're afraid of my father.
So this is
They're
Latoya.
But my mother allowed this to go and make it so bad. She didn't stop it.
She too was an abuse victim, wasn't she?
My mother, by my father, according to my brother, yes, according to Michael, he would tell me he would see my father beating my mother. I had never seen my father beat my mother, but he beat all of us.
So did this persist all through your childhood and continue into young adulthood?
Adult, everything. Michael was doing, I think it was Off the Wall, Thriller, and he was still getting beat, but what you guys did, came up on the awards, accepting these awards, and smiling. My father's chasing him around the house, and he's running from him, terrified.
You said that Michael was the only one that actually tried to fight back and tried
He
to
was
hit
a
your
little
father.
boy, yes. He was the only one. I don't think he knew exactly what he was doing. But the more he would get beat, he'd throw it back at him and throw it through. But have to always get the last look in, always.
What's been the reaction of your family to this book?
I have no idea. My parents, of course, they're denying it, and of course, typical that they would
See,
deny it.
this
And I
is where it
think
gets
they're finding
interesting,
it
guys.
And abuse as well. However, outsiders have accepted the book, and they understand. They understand about the abuse. It wasn't just physical abuse, it was also mental abuse, which is very disturbing, and also sexual abuse as well.
That you don't write about in the book. You allude to it, but you're just
I touch
reading
it
that.
very lightly because it's a very touchy subject and it's dealing with my sister, and I wasn't able to talk about myself just yet. You have to be ready to come out and talk about these things.
Here we go, 1 minute.
And it's a very sad story because Reedy is a wonderful person, I must say, and she left home at a very young age. She left home when she
this is where it's interesting now. This is where Latoya is talking about her father and her other sister, and she left because of the sexual abuse. Then when she left, it went on to her, but then it does go on to talk about Michael.
I think it was 16 years old. And the reason she left is because my father would get out of bed with my mother and he would get into bed with Reedy. And my mother,
That's his sister.
Reedy would ask my mother, please mother, get help for him. And she wouldn't, she would not. So Reedy had to leave home. There were times, of course, when my mother would say, Joe, not tonight. Leave her alone, let her rest. Don't get in the bed with her. And then Reedy called me and she said to me, she said, Toya, I have a question I want to ask you.
Definitely a
I said,
pedo,
"What is
Owen.
it?"
Not that you're a pedo,
And
mate,
she
sorry.
said, "I've been at home all these years, so this is just Reedy.
Yo, is there anything, Owen, that you've noticed that,
Joseph ever sexually abused you the way he did
obviously,
me.
the idea of this is
He had
maybe
with
to,
me and Janet. And I couldn't answer her.
debunk in one way or another,
Tell me,
like
listen,
really
there's
throw
things
it,
that you don't
because
talk about.
there's a bit of controversy over
And I said, really, there's just certain things you don't talk about, isn't there? And she says, okay.
it's leaving Neverland, they're saying it's all for
And
money.
she asked me about Janet, and I said, I don't know what happened to Janet.
So what about you, Latoya? Did he sexually
Yes,
abuse you?
he did. Very badly, yes.
This is Michael's dad,
I
banging
don't know if she's
Latoya.
never spoken about it. I certainly hope he didn't. She's never spoken about it. My father,
Yeah, this is
it
what-
began with me when Reedy left.
It
and
was
then
like behind
it
closed
started
doors,
with
you
me.
know, so abuse is nothing new to Michael.
You live with this all your life and you feel that you're doing something wrong and you're frightened when this is happening to you. And you're embarrassed.
See, I've
I have
noticed
been
there's
embarrassed all my life to ever talk about it.
hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people
shy,
coming out in
afraid
his
that people
defence,
can
which
see through me and see that this is happening.
You felt like everyone
I kind of feel it's a bit wrong in some respects. They should just let the law deal with it.
The disturbing and hurting part about
They shouldn't
it all is
defend
that
him,
my mother
you know.
never did anything about it, and I
The only
wanted
thing
to
that you
so
can have
badly
is
to feel
case
this way,
evidence.
if
The
he
only
bothered
people
you
who could
and touched
defend
you,
him,
really touched you, I would direct questions to her and fill them
the
out,
people that actually
leaving it open
truly
to
had
her
contact
for
with him.
Did he ever touch you?
Why
And
would
she
you
said,
leave
see,
him
it's-
then if that's
That's what Reedy would always say, Mother, and Reedy would tell me, I don't know why Mother didn't leave him. And he got it
Yeah, that's
so
pretty
quick,
good.
I
I'll tell you what we'll do, and we'll have a look and we'll see.
wasn't that?
Let's just have a look. I can tell you what Latoya finishes off saying here. Basically, her dad was banging her, and
Yeah,
his sister.
she has no answer. to
Michael
it.
was living in amongst all this, along with all them brothers. I mean, why didn't they sort him out?
Pass this letter before I go on to film it.
It's not good. I mean,
Maybe he was banging MC.
maybe. Maybe. I mean, let's have a look at this. Here we go. This isn't my webpage, by the way. It's just a video on YouTube. That's what we're looking at. Evaluating YouTube videos. Dads. There's a question. I mean, how old was he? 12 years old. Yeah, I guess you probably wouldn't see somebody sat on the corridor to alert you that somebody's coming. I mean, why would you need them? You know, you wouldn't need them when you're in bed with a kid. Yeah, it's just crazy. You know, they say he was like a child, which, you know, when you're a kid you might, well, you wouldn't do that, would you? You know, so that is a big problem, isn't it? You know, I mean, he looks like a strange person, doesn't he? You know, well, he is was a strange person, there's no denying that. Money, fame, got to his head. I believe he had a good heart, but he had sin that he was trying to deal with. You know what I mean? And is this his sin? You know, every human's got sin. It says here he's not comfortable around adults.
It's coming out quite a lot now, isn't it, with the sexual predators being famous, like R. Kelly. He's
Oh yeah, he would
he's-
definitely.
he's being done at the minute.
I mean,
I do want to talk about that in a video, mainly just his song Bump and Grind,
yeah.
where he talks about his mind telling him yeah, but his mind telling him no, but his body telling him yeah.
I mean,
And there's something he don't want to hurt anybody, but there's something he wants to confess, but he never confesses it. Maybe that was him trying to
let the world know, like, yeah, I've been banging your daughters.
underage daughters.
I mean, this is crazy with Michael Jackson. I mean, yeah, I understand all these people in his defence, and they're like, oh yeah, he couldn't have possibly have done this. He, you know, this is wonderful. He created the moonwalk, you know, but at the same time, how could anybody say that he didn't do it? You know what I mean? They can't, can they? You know, this is somebody's. If this has happened to these people, who the fuck are we to say, no, Jacko's in the right here and you lot are wrong? And you know, he doesn't deny that these kids are in his bed. He doesn't deny that he has them for all his time. You know, I think it's strange. I think these lads that are accusing him, the parents should go to prison, because I'm not being funny. If that was happening to your child, in those circumstances, if someone said to me, right, I want your daughter, and she's going to come and stay at my house and she's going to sleep in my bed, I'd strangle her twat right on the spot there, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? It'd be like, no, there's a line that you don't cross. But what's happened is Michael's put his money, well, money where his mouth is, and says, look, I'll pay you this and I always get what I want and your child will stay with me. And it's like, what the fuck? You pimped your kids. You know what I mean? These people on these interviews pimped their own children out. If this has happened to them, that's what they've done. They have pimped the kids out. It's like, yeah, you can bang my little boy, but you know, it's going to cost you, and it's going to keep costing you for the rest of eternity by the looks of it, because it's a case of he's dead now and they can't get the money out of him. So if you can't get the money out of him, we'll just document everything that's happened and we'll whack it out there. You know, I've spoken to a few people. People got different views and aspects on it, but you know, it's weird that they've got the kids in bed. Yeah, the whole thing is weird, but he was weird. And weird don't mean you're a pedo, but I'm sorry, it'd be very hard to.
Yeah, especially being a grown man, having the kids in your bed.
I mean, what are people thinking? You know? Oh look, there's R. Kelly. He was just talking about him. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we want some more comments. People get commenting. We want to know your opinion. You know, do you think that his star witness? Here we go. Right. So this is Michael Jackson's star witness.
Michael Jackson's troubles in life have inevitably followed him in death. Dancer and choreographer Wade Robson has just come forward with claims that the late singer molested him during years of sleepovers at Neverland Ranch. The same allegations that Robson previously helped Jackson beat in court. Jackson was arrested in 2003 and acquitted in 2005 on charges that he molested several children during overnight visits. Robson testified on Jackson's behalf during the trial, insisting that nothing illicit had happened during his visits.
If he was a big kid and he did have sexual motives,
therapy has helped him reclaim memories he had previously repressed.
he was a gay big kid.
Robson is seeking to make a late claim against the estate of Jackson, who died in 2009. A lawyer for the pop icon calls Robson's accusations pathetic and clearly about money.
Maybe we just say that.
See, that's it. It comes down. Why did this all come out early? You know what I mean? Obviously, he did pay someone out. I can't quite remember the name, but he did pay someone out earlier on. But
This is a pretty good video, guys. Alright, we're gonna whack this one on. I mean,
Michael
it's pretty funny.
the King, possibly the greatest performance we've ever lived, and certainly the most awarded artist of all time. The first black man to appear on MTV, but quite possibly the most famous man on the planet, the man of many faces, and all of them pretty weird. But was he a fucking pedophile?
What do you think, guys?
Now, of course, it depends who you ask. If you ask any of these sycophants, they'd say, how dare you, this man invented the fucking moonwalk. Of course he wasn't a paedophile. What if you asked any of these people? They'd say, yes, he was a fucking paedophile, and that's why God decided to kill him. Especially this lady. But probably that guy. But what if you ask someone whose job it is to remain impartial? Someone who has to base their conclusions on evidence alone? Someone like Judge Judy?
I am older.
She's a good judge.
Or even Judge Ringer? Or perhaps even Judge Dredd? Holy crud is right. So, they are the judges,
She's a good dancer.
they be the jury, and let's try to reach a verdict.
So please comment below. We want to know what you think.
Now, the legal definition of a pedophile states that it is a person who is sexually attracted to children. Now, we're not trying to prove whether Michael was a child molester or an actual sex offender, just whether he matches his definition of a pedophile. Now, in order to determine whether Michael complies with that legal definition of a paedophile, we're going to break that down into two parts. First part is whether Michael had an interest in children at all, and the second part is whether that interest was sexual. So in order to determine the first part of that, we're going to go to, yes, you guessed it, Exeter City Football Club. Now I will warn you, this next
This
clip
is
does
freaky.
include Uri Geller.
When I called Michael and I said to him, Michael, will you come to Exeter City Football Club? He said,
He looks wasted.
are there going to be children from hospitals? I said, yes. His first words were, see it us done. Michael Jackson.
Now, that could be completely innocent, right? But what could be taken from that clip is that Michael is only willing to turn up as an honorary chairman to Exeter City Football Club if there are 6 children. Children who could be too weak to fight off the advances of a real life skeleton. Now, obviously, I'm speculating there, and it's quite unfair. So let's move on to the second clip. This next clip is an outtake from his interview with Martin Bishop.
How's that? Thank you, mate. Lovely.
Here we go.
It must be fine.
And look what he's got.
Thanks very much. Show me? Oh, the pictures, yeah, it's lovely. Why do you like these pictures?
And they're all boys. Oh wait, there's a girl in the middle.
Now, in that clip, Michael is tearing a picture out of a hotel magazine, a picture containing children. Now, once again, it could be completely innocent, but that clip will become a bit more apparent later on in the video. Now, for our next set of clips, we're going to have to go back to, yes, you guessed it again, console games of the 80s and 90s. Now, we all remember this spiky blue bastard. It was his job to collect rings. And then there's the Yorkshire Italian plumber, whose job it was to collect coins, or whatever the fuck they were. But Michael had a game, Moonwalker.
I remember this.
And in this game, Michael had to collect children. Yes, you guessed it. Michael collected fucking kids. Michael had a real life child collection. And over the years, collected dozens of kids from all walks of lives, regular kids, but some of them were child stars. Even Macaulay Culkin, John Lennon's kid could escape. But I want to draw your attention to one child in particular, Terry George. And Terry appeared in a Louis Theroux documentary where he goes into detail about how he met Michael.
This is
Terry had
freaky.
been friends with Michael as a teenager in the early 80s. Armed with a cassette recorder that his parents had bought him, Terry would attempt to interview any celebrities staying in Leeds.
I'd gone along, knocked on the door of the hotel room, and Michael answered the door. There was no security around, nobody stopping me really. And I just said, "Hi, I'm Terry, can I do an interview with you?" And it was like...
It sounds like he's been out, doesn't it?
He invited me into his room. He was there with his brother Randy Jackson, and I ddid an interview with both of them. Yeah,
Should have called Michael Randy.
Very friendly, fantastic, got on very well with him, and swapped addresses and telephone numbers. And he rang me just the day after, actually, after he'd left Leeds. I'd met quite a lot of celebrities before, none of them gave me telephone numbers. Michael just freely gave it me. But we did get on very well at the time. You know, it almost felt like I'd known him for a long, long time. You know, he was very comfortable to be with, very easygoing.
Now, Bucky Kid White gets to interview Michael Jackson and his ironically named brother Randy. But I did notice in that clip that Terry mentions that no one he interviewed had ever given them his phone number or address before. I wonder if Michael has ever handed out his number and address to anyone who's interviewed him. Probably not. Could it just be a friendship blossoming or a small amount of grooming going on? Anyway, the next clip is segments of that actual interview.
Here I am in the Dragonada Hotel in Leeds, and I'm in the Jackson 5 room, and I've just asked them for an interview, just asked Michael, and he said it's okay for a few minutes. Just to come to
His voice sounds deeper then.
And the date is the 19th of February, 1979. What's your name? Michael Jackson.
Sounded like Stephen Hawking, doesn't it?
I think at this point it's safe to say, no shit, you like kids a lot.
Nephews and nieces. I like fish.
No, I'm glad you said that, Terry, because it is strange he jumps from kids to big. It's almost as if he said kids, realised, hang on a minute, that sounds a bit fucking pervy. So I have to think of something else quickly. And he's come up with fucking fish.
Benjamin, what do you tell your brothers and sisters?
Don't tell your brothers and sisters anything, Terry. Tell your fucking parents, mate. Now, all that aside, this next bit was what this entire interview has been building up to. So take a look at this.
After their interview, Terry and Michael began a phone friendship until Terry notched up a £300 phone bill and got his parents' phone cut off. But in 1993, two papers ran the story that
Lucky
Michael
for
was
Terry.
masturbating during one of their phone calls.
That dirty fucking bastard. Now, is that just tabloid bullshit? Or as Trump would say,
You are fake news.
and you, sir, are a fucking piss flat.
No, it's been in the papers that Mike made an inappropriate phone call to you, and did that? I mean, can you tell us what happened there?
Look at that gong.
I don't really want to talk about what was printed in the papers. I mean, that was well documented. It came out really without my authority. It developed from somebody who had a bit of a big mouth, basically, one of my close friends who knew about the story. Can you say whether it's true? Parts of it are true, yeah. Parts of the story are true. I mean, I would say the majority of it's true.
So it turns out it wasn't bullshit. Terry says it was true. And the reason why I'm inclined to believe Terry over any of the 20 other alleged victims that Michael paid a reported $200 million to silence.
That's big money, that.
Where Michael is tearing a page
Yeah.
out of the hotel book, a page that contains children's faces.
It's not looking good. All these people are in defence. You know, if that's the issue of the government and they never did him for that, then shame on that government. and that is paedophilic material. If that is to be true. Do you not agree? I mean, what the fuck would you have a picture of a naked 12-year-old?
Yeah, it's a bit messed up, really, isn't it?
That is messed up shit.
He releases a computer game.
Yeah.
You cannot progress to the next level unless you're collecting all the fucking children.
This guy's funny.
Children from all walks of life over the years, regular kids, child stars, there's plenty of evidence of that.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Mr. Jackson here, is it? Yeah, this guy's at the nail on the head a bit here. If this is the FBI's investigation evidence, it does look like grooming. Definitely. What do you think?
Well,
If that's to be true,
there was always young.
Those things were found in the Neverland Ranch, which I don't see why they didn't put that in the documentary. You know, why didn't they do that? You know, maybe it's not true. Maybe that's just been printed up and it's been dished out there and it's fake news. But
Maybe it was quite like a long period stage of grooming, like
yeah,
befriended people young, 7, 8s, 9s and 10s, and then as they came to what he would make saw as legal, like 11, 12, 13, that's when he made his move.
yeah, it's all about love, isn't it? Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up with Mr. Jackson. But if you want to watch that guy, there you go. What's he called? Cerebral inoculation. I'm gonna subscribe to him because he's pretty funny, and he made that a year ago. So the evidence was out there. Why didn't they use it in Neverland Ranch? Well, they should have done. Right, guys, we're gonna join us for another talk. It was a bit of an awkward one, this with Wacko Jacko, but just comment below. Commenting. Let's get this discussion on the go. If you got evidence that suggests he's like really innocent and he was just a big ass kid, and you know, put the links in the description. Sorry, put links in the comments. If you've got more compelling evidence. I mean, I think that video there is the most compelling bit of evidence if that piece of paper there is to be believed. Looks like it was legit. Anything could happen these days, can't it? But if that evidence is legit, then yeah, you don't have naked pictures of kids. But especially, it was always boys that he had. You just don't have the pictures. You know, there's loads of people in his defence. There's loads of people against him. You know, you shouldn't be defending anybody who's accused of paedophilia. Full stop. You know, period. You should just leave it to the people that have been accused to discuss the evidence, not defend. You should defend. You know, how would you feel if you were that person? You wouldn't like it. Wouldn't be good, and it prevents justice. You know, was he another Jimmy Savile? You know, but with class. You know,
I mean, looking at that picture, I'm gonna say yeah, he was a Jimmy Savile.
I mean, that must have been before his last surgery. What do you reckon?
Oh, well, that's obviously fake, innit? But
No, it's